get this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we are starting off in the admin console. Quick, some navigational pieces to be aware of here. On the left-hand side, you'll see users and groups. The users is where you are going to be working, okay? Once you have selected the users from the left, you'll notice on the right-hand side, it looks pretty blank. It doesn't look like there's much of anything there. You can choose to look at all users using the View Users button. This is a global site, so that means that all of BHS's single sign-on users are going to be visible in here, not just those that might be in your particular building or ones that you are working on. So just be mindful of that. Okay. To the right, you'll notice that there are two additional buttons. There's an Unlock Users as well as an Add Users. This Unlock Users does unlock all locked users across all of BHS. So if you do have someone who has locked themselves out, you don't have to go first search for their username and then hit unlock. You can just simply hit the unlock at the very top. That will unlock anybody that is locked. Okay. And then obviously the Add User if you do need to create a new user utilizing that button. When you do a search, you always want to search to make sure that person doesn't already have an account. So I'm going to just pick on Kathy here. So I'll look for Kathy. Not seeing the Kathy there, so I'm just going to do sort by the last name as well just to make sure. And we got no user there. And when you're doing a search, just a quick tip, go ahead and type, but hit enter on your keyboard versus using the View Users. The View Users is actually just a request to see all available users in the site rather than actually utilizing the search. So just make sure to hit the enter on your keyboard if you are looking for a user, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and to the right here, I'm gonna select Add User. So we wanna walk through and add Kathy. And here under the username field, you'll notice that this is the only one that does have a red star. That is the only required field. However, we do also want to provide the first and last name so that you can help differentiate and make sure you're looking at the right person. So for Kathy here, the naming convention is the first initial, middle initial, and then last name. BHS is not using the email address function, and so what we'll be doing is we'll skip that field and just go to the first and last name. Okay. And then you'll notice here that we have two toggle buttons, user enabled and an email verified. User enabled will be default on. If you do have someone who does leave your community, they no longer work for you, you can simply turn this off and that will disable their account. They will not be able to log in anywhere so that you can, it's just a quick toggle to inactivate or disable their account. The email verified, because you are not utilizing the email function, we don't need to worry about that toggle button. Right below that, you'll notice that there is a required user's actions, and there's an option here where it says to select an action. At this time, you don't need to do anything with that. As soon as I hit save, it is going to auto-populate an action that's going to require Kathy to reset her password the first time that she logs in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save here. The page will update. And you'll notice here now it just says update password. So when Kathy logs in for the first time here, we'll see that she's going to get prompted to change her password to something that she knows. Before we move on to create that first initial temporary password, there's one additional step that you want to do on this page, and that's this SSO ID. We want to take a copy of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my agenda. So I've got it for reference when we move to the next page here. Okay. This ID, if you recall, I'd said that this first username that we create we are able to tie all of the other accounts together with this one. And we do that through this ID. Okay, so when you create the user account here, you always want to take a copy of that ID. It's a unique identifier for Kathy to tell the system that this is her. Okay. From here, we're going to go to credentials. And this is where we're going to set that temporary password that she's going to use the very first time she logs in. BHS does use the same standard temporary password, which is capital P, password 1, exclamation, and I will put this in the chat for easy access. Okay. You'll notice it does default to say that this is a temporary password, so that toggle is on. I'll go ahead and hit reset. Oops, doesn't look like I matched those two, so I'll retype those. There we go. Awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and in the chat box here on Zoom, I'm going to go ahead and put that temp password on. Temp password. Go. Okay. Now for you three, because you three will be creating other users, you will have one additional step if you are creating other people like yourself. Meaning if there's any other person that's maybe not on today's call that does need to create other user accounts, you will need to go to the last step here, which is role mapping. So this step is only needed if you are setting up another admin type user. Okay. Under the role mapping, there are 2 available roles, and you'll want to assign this top one here with that says client admin. So go ahead and highlight it, select add selected, and it's going to move it over to the assigned roles. This is the role that's going to give Kathy the ability to create other users in the admin console. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to go back to users. So I'm going to use this hyperlink at the top. It's going to bring me back to that main users page. Okay. And now if I look in here, if I look for Kathy, there she is. So there's Kathy Benjamin. Okay. And from this users page here, if I needed to get into Kathy's account, I could do so by either selecting her username or selecting edit on the right-hand side. Okay. Either of these will get me to the details page for Kathy and those additional tab menus. Okay. One additional piece to be mindful of is up in the top right-hand corner. You'll notice under my username and to the right of that, there is a little downward pointing arrow. All users that have a single sign-on account are going to have under this area the ability to manage an account as well as sign out. I'm going to go ahead and walk through this manage account area. This area is available to all SSO users, whether or not they are someone that can create other accounts. Okay. This area allows the individual to update their first and last name. You will notice that the username cannot be modified or changed. Okay. Now this is nice and helpful because if you, for example, you have someone who does get married, their last name changes for whatever reason, or it needs to be hyphenated, they can come in and they can update that themselves. In addition, they can change their own password. So in here for the KeyCloak, for admin console here, your password does need to be reset every 90 days. That is a hard-coded value. So knowing that and knowing that that's going to come up, I can come in and update that password so that I don't hit that 90-day mark. So this password area is available to all single sign-on users to be able to come in and change that password themselves. Okay. They will also be able to see sessions, and sessions allows you to see where you have logged in or where you're currently logged in. So on this particular page here, I can see where I'm currently logged in right now, which is in the admin console. If I did have multiple sessions open, meaning maybe I had logged into the admin console and then I navigated to one of the other sites, and for some reason I needed to get my log out of everywhere, I could log out here, or I could simply hit sign out on the top page here. But this just allows me to see where I'm logged in. The applications. This is an easy navigation tool, okay? Now I can see that my account is tied to different sites. So Matrix Care CA for Care Assist. So if I wanted, I could use this as a navigation to go to BHS's Care Assist site. I could do the same thing where I'm already in the admin console, so I wouldn't necessarily need to select this again, but I could use it to navigate to the admin console. I also have the ability to navigate to the senior living site for BHS, and then also to the SNF site, or what we're calling Elite. Okay. So for all of your SSO users, they will be able to access and view these 4 items, regardless of whether or not they are another admin user. But again, this is only tied to their specific account. They won't be able to see this information for any other account. Okay. For you, I'm going to go back to the security admin console. You will be able to see this information for all accounts. I'm going to go back there. Go ahead and pick on, let's do Linda, because I know she'll have something there to look at. Okay. And for her, at the very end, you'll see there's a sessions tab. This allows you to see where she is currently accessing information. So I can see that she has logged in, and she has logged in and accessed these 3 sites. She's gone to SNF, Senior Living, and Care Assist. Okay. And I can see at the very top here, there is this option to log out all sessions. This can be helpful if you do have someone who perhaps is no longer working for your building or your community, and maybe they left on not such good terms. You want to make sure that they haven't logged in and they're not accessing the sites before you've had a chance to come in and disable them. You can go to the Sessions tab and you can see if they have logged in, if there's a current session open. And if there is, you can force them to log out of all sessions. Okay. This is also something that you can do, for example, if you do have someone who is accessing it and it's not a shift, so they're actually not working right now and they look to have been logged in for some reason and you just happen to notice that, you can also log them out of all sessions. Okay. So that's just a little safety tip there so you can see what's going on, and if someone is accessing and they do have an open session but they shouldn't because they're not currently working, you can actually kick them out and log them out of all sessions. Okay. I'm going to move back to the users page here. At this point, I am going to go ahead and stop my share, and then Kathy Benjamin, I'm going to have you do your share. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. That should then prompt an option on your page in Zoom to share your screen. Okay. And you do want to make sure that you have Google Chrome open, and that's what you would like to, that's the screen that you'd like to pick for sharing is Google Chrome. Okay. Are you seeing the share option there? Kathy, are you there? Are you able to see the share?
I am. So I just hit the share button.
Okay. And then it should give you some options. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So then go ahead and the very long one that's at the bottom of that email, go ahead and right click to open that as a separate tab. Oh, perfect, it just does that. Okay, so then the username would be the KM Benjamin. Okay, and then the password is capital P, password, 1 exclamation. Okay, so then it'll ask and prompt you to change your password. The requirements are 8 characters. You do have to have a cap, a special character, and a number. Okay, and this is to be expected the very first time you log in. Go ahead and just select the link that says go to homepage, and that will bring you to where you want to go. Awesome. Okay, and so then from here, we are going to be working under the users area. So you want to select users on the left. Okay, and who do you want to create first? Would you like to create Karen or Kathy?
We can create Karen.
Okay. So first thing we want to do is we want to make sure she doesn't already have an account. Perfect. We don't see anything. So we want to go ahead and add her. Okay. And so, Karen, what is your middle initial?
S as in Sam.
Okay. Okay, S. Sherman. Okay, and no email, so we'll just go right to the first and last name.
Oh, Kath, you're good at this. You can do all of them now.
Right. Now I don't remember what I do here.
So that will actually auto-populate, right, once you hit save.
Okay.
So you can actually just click off of that and then hit save. Perfect. You do want to take her ID there that's right at the top. And if you've got, you copy that and maybe put it at the bottom of, I think it unhighlighted it.
Uh-oh.
And then just copy and place that somewhere that you can easily reference back to.
Where do you put it? Where, like, would I put that?
Do you have, it looks like maybe you've got a Word doc open. Do you want to maybe put that at the bottom of your Word doc?
Oh, sure. What the heck?
Okay.
Okay. Now I gotta go back. But I need this now, right?
You won't need it quite yet, but you'll need to reference back to it. So you actually want to select your Google Chrome icon on the bottom there. Perfect. There you go. Awesome. Okay. So now we've got it. So we set up her user, and we need to give her that temporary password.
Okay.
So at the very top, you want to select the credentials. And then you'll just give her that same temporary password that we had for you, capital P, password 1, exclamation. Great, perfect. Okay. And Karen is someone that's gonna create other users, right?
This is Kathy. I'm kind of confused on our users here. Isn't this something that would be in the clinical area?
Well, I think you're gonna have to set everybody up just like we do in AOD right now.
Everybody meaning?
Well, depending on what people have access. I mean, I'm guessing that Matrix Care is similar to AOD and that you give people credentials based on their jobs. So CNAs would have, you know, the same credentials. Concierge would be able to look at some stuff, but not change stuff.
Yeah.
Am I understanding this correctly?
Correct, yeah. And this, what we're doing, and this is thinking of this as like the global account. And then underneath of that are additional accounts that actually define the access.
Global users that we're setting up today.
Yes, so this, think of this as like an umbrella, and then underneath the umbrella are different accounts, and each account is for a specific site.
Well, you know, I'm going back to the employees. So shouldn't HR be involved in this to some degree so that they're making sure that when somebody no longer works here, that they are going in and taking them out, or is that on the clinical team? You know, we had a nurse that quit. Is that a Kathy Benjamin thing? Go in there and take her out. And if you don't, are they accessing, you know, you're looking and you're saying, my goodness, why are they still accessing this? Yeah, that's why I'm just a little lost on who's at this meeting today and where, because I think that Kathy Benjamin and her group are going to be adding nurses along the way and training them on this. And then Karen, there are pieces of this that are going to go to finance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how it was determined who is doing what. I mean, currently under AOD, I do all the setups. I don't know, and I do all the deletions. I don't know how it was defined in the new system who's doing what. I mean, I would think you would want one person that's kind of in charge of setting up all the users, and then, you know, backup, which is kind of what we have now. But once again, I don't know what the plan is.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to have nurses who are in here, Kathy, you might want to enter your team as they come, or I don't know if that's something that you wanted HR to do, but
Yeah, I think, you know,
sometimes
I definitely
have
could,
problems. That's the thing that you need to have, you know, who has the ability to help if one of the nurses, let's say, or a CNA on the night shift have a problem, you
Yeah.
know, that's not going to go to a Karen Sherman then just because.
no, it would probably be myself and Kelsey, the staffing coordinator, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around the users and at what level these people have permissions. And to Karen's point, then if you can just describe it to us. So if we had a concierge, let's say, that could have access to this, we can limit where that access is, correct?
Right, and that's actually a next step. So
Okay.
this particular user that we're looking at right now,
Right.
no one else except for an admin person would ever log into this site.
So these are the super users, pretty
Yes.
much.
Yep.
Okay. But do we have all the people on this call that would be considered super users then? So there is a financial piece. I mean, we don't, Karen, for example, I mean, we're private pay here. So it's not like Karen is doing, you know, somebody orders, I don't know, whatever medication, none of that has anything to do with our finance.
Sure.
Is this tied to their monthly billing? No, correct?
So, I mean, there is an account that when we get to the very last account we create today, that account is where the site for where financing or finances, census, and billing, all of that comes into play. Those that are on this call are not, to my knowledge, financial folks. We're covering kind of the clinical type users.
That's the point, because Karen is finance.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Karen's also the person that creates all of the user accounts, right?
Currently, I do.
Well,
Okay.
she did with AOD at the time, but you know, now we're into a new system, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Who is the one who should really be entering these? I don't know that I don't believe that a new employee shouldn't be it shouldn't be coming from HR. But I mean, if these are just clinical folks, Kathy, as the director of nursing, you would take lead in that, or Kelsey as your admin assistant.
So I think that's maybe why all you folks are on this call, is that the process, the steps are the same. It's just a different, obviously, template you would assign, right, based upon the person's actual role. And
as you pointed out to us. So
sorry,
I'm the executive director here. I'm not going to probably be entering these people, correct?
I'm not sure what your internal process is.
Okay.
Linda is, when I know that when you had kind of decided who was coming to this, I assumed it was based upon, you know, what they were currently doing in AOD, right?
So I think it'll make more sense once we get through it. I think they're just having a hard time because they can't see it yet.
Okay.
But yes, Karen will have access to billing stuff. Kathy will have access to nursing stuff, but you can both have setup rights for new users. So I think they're just not seeing it yet.
Okay.
But are we missing anybody on this call? Or we're okay here? We can always add somebody.
You can always add people.
You can add someone down the road. Me and Kathy had talked about the staffing girl doing it, but that's something I can teach later down the road, or you can teach her how to do it.
Excellent. Okay, thanks for clarifying, because I was just getting a little lost here.
Yep, I think it'll make sense by
Okay,
the
great.
end.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me interrupt.
Oh, no, totally fine. Okay, so from this credentials piece, I believe you already set the temporary password. Yes. Okay. And so we're working with setting up Karen's user. Karen herself is going to be someone that creates other user accounts. So for her, under role mappings here, that's that second tab, that next tab there. Yep. You want to give her that client admin role. Go ahead and select add selected. Perfect. Now this step, this tab here, you only are going to do that for another user who is going to be more an admin who creates additional user accounts. You don't need to worry about that step for any other type of user. Okay.
So for a nurse who works the second shift, she would not have that role? Is that what you're saying?
Correct, she would not, because she is not managing and setting up and creating users.
So you wouldn't, that role mapping, you would just not go
Not
to.
touch. Yep.
You could leave it, it will stay in its available role.
Correct. Yep.
So is it correct then to think through organizationally that we would look at who would I want to be the person adding for clinical besides me? And Linda mentioned maybe the staffing coordinator, so that that person then would be able to add. Is
right.
that correct?
Yep,
okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So, and you did take a copy of that ID, so we should be good there. Okay. So then, Kathy, why don't you go ahead and log out, and I can stop your screen share, and then we'll have Karen, we'll have you share, and you can create then the next, and then Kathy to Christina, Kathy D. Okay. And it's actually the very long URL in that email. The one at the very bottom there, right there. Perfect. Okay. And so then I believe you were KS Sherman. And then the password one with a capital P. Okay. And then change it. So it's 8 characters, 1 cap, 1 special character, and a number. Okay. And you want to go ahead and hit go to homepage. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. We want to search for Kathy. Probably maybe go, yep, by her last name there. Okay, perfect. So she's not there, so we want to go ahead and add her. So then, Kathy, what's your middle name?
A. Ann.
Ann, okay. And no email, perfect. Perfect. And then you want to take that ID there and copy that and paste it somewhere that you can access today. Okay. Awesome. And then you want to go to credentials. So go ahead and hit go to home page again there.
That's a pretty scary thing you read first, though. People will turn away. It is forbidden. I didn't see.
Go ahead and hit back on your browser there. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. And hit it. Interesting.
It did say forbidden.
And go hit the back button twice.
There. That's different than. Oh, wait.
Okay. Let's have you log off. I think it. There you go. And then log back in here. Okay, and now select that, go to home page. It should bring you to users. There we go, okay. And then we wanna go back to Kathy there because we need to set her temporary password. So we'll go to credentials. And then give her that temporary password. Okay, and then she is someone who will also create other user accounts. Perfect. Okay. So from here, Kathy, do you have, is there any other, trying to think, do you have the information for maybe a CNA or another nurse?
Not necessarily handy. I mean,
Okay.
the girls can really walk me through something, but I think we get the idea here.
Okay, sounds good. So then what I can do here is take back the screen here. Okay.
Debbie, you have Kelsey with you now.
I do.
Excellent.
Okay. So Kelsey is in the room with you?
She is in the room with me. Would you like to put her in?
Yeah, I was just thinking I wanted an example of someone
Yeah,
that you could help
put her
set up.
in.
So, okay, so let me stop sharing and we'll have you, Kathy, you can share your screen and we'll have you set up Kelsey.
Can you hang on? Kathy, can you do her? I need to see what's happening.
Yep.
I'm gonna- Hang on.
Where's the Google Chrome here? That's not it. Hold on. I gotta find that email. Sorry, Lynn. Sorry, ladies. I'm trying to find the email. Oh, I got it.
Are you sharing a page or a
Yes.
computer? Oh, okay, because it looks like you're logged in as Kathy Benjamin.
Oh, Kathy got off and asked me to do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's okay. I was
Have
thinking
I
it was a
totally-
different Kathy. I was sorry.
Have I totally confused you?
I was like, wait, which Kathy? I'm confused. Okay. Yeah, so let's
This
just
is
have,
Kathy Benjamin.
yes, okay. And I thought Kathy DeChristina was going to be logging in and doing it. So then I was
Yeah.
confused that there was a different Kathy logged
Yeah,
in.
that's why she's having us do it, so Kathy could get trained on it.
Ah,
Oh, no email address is needed.
I need her name here though, right?
Yes.
Oh, see?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we
Well,
want
let's
to
take out
actually,
that email.
yeah,
Can we
take out
take
the
out
email.
the email? Because I just,
Sorry, yes. I got it, ladies. There you
it
go.
messes it up. No.
Okay.
Now wait, do I do anything here? No, I save, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, so we'll have to hit cancel and then come back in. Once an email has been entered there, it looks to verify it, even though you've taken it out.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's just one of the
I
quirks of the system.
Oh, look at that. It just comes up. It's very intuitive. Huh?
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome. Okay. Perfect.
Control C,
Um,
and then you're gonna go back to your Microsoft Word. The bottom of that word, and then just put mine right below hers. And then Control V will actually paste it on
B.
there. V is in Victor. There you go. Control V. There you go. And then you go back to your Zoom.
Come
I
on,
minimized
minimize.
that. I'm sorry. I forgot you're sharing your screen.
So you can go to the Google Chrome icon. And then there you go.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
And then the next step is you want to give that temporary password. So you want to go to credentials. And that's just capital P, password 1, exclamation. It's just sort of the generic that BHS uses. Perfect. And Kelsey is someone that's going to create other users, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go to role mapping for her. Give her that client admin role. Perfect. Okay. So then that's the last person I think that we have, right, on the call that needed to be set up.
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then what I can do is I am going to take back over and we're going to move to the next step. Okay. And just make sure you keep those IDs handy because we will need it for the next steps. Okay.
Thank you, Kathy. Leandra, I'm going to jump off for a minute and help someone, and then I'll get back on.
Okay. Sounds good. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Okay. From here, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of this particular site. And now kind of referencing back to our agenda here, just so you can kind of keep track of where we're at. We just covered this piece here, the admin console. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to go to the senior living site and we're going to create the Care Assist account as well as the senior living account. Okay. So I'm going to go to the senior living site here, minimize that agenda. Okay. Okay. So here's the site we're going to be going to. Just going to copy that and I'll paste it into our chat box.
Okay.
Maybe if I can find the chat. There it is. Here's the senior living account or user. Okay. Okay. Now, for all of you, once we set everyone up and you've walked through these steps, you will be using this login button down here to get into the site. So you'll always be using sign in with Matrix Care SSO. And SSO just stands for single sign-on. Okay, that's what says it's one username, one password to access all. My account in this particular site is not set up for that. So I'm just going to hit the main button, but that's just my specific account. Okay. So I have logged in, okay, and right away my home page is set to BHS's training site. Okay, so I've got some training communities in here. Where we're going to be focusing today is under the setup menu. Okay. So under the setup menu, there are two areas that we will visit. The first of which is Care Assist User Management. This is the area where we will set up Care Assist users. Care Assist users are what gives you the ability to access Care Assist, the application, which is where point of care as well as EMR are documented. So anybody that's going to be doing anything around EMR documentation or point of care documentation will need to have an account under Care Assist User Management. Okay. The second area that we will visit today is the usernames. Usernames is where you will find the senior living account. Senior living is the overall site that I'm logged into right now. And this particular site is where you will see the evaluations, service plans, as well as clinical notes. You might call them progress notes, whatever term you might use. Those can be found in the senior living site. Okay. So the user account for that is found under usernames. Okay. I'm going to start off under Care Assist User Management first, because that will actually auto create for me a user under usernames. So I'm going to start off with Care Assist User Management. Okay. And just like with the admin console, the Care Assist User Management page is a global page. So all senior living Care Assist users for BHS reside within this page. So it's always a good idea to do a search, make sure your person doesn't already exist. So I'm going to do a search here. Got two Kathys, but no Kathy Benjamin, which is what I would expect. So what I'm going to do is on the left-hand side, I'm going to hit that add user.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. And we have our first name and our last name and then username. Okay, so you'll see that there are certain fields that have a red star on them. Those are the required fields. Okay. And you'll also notice here there is a field called SSO ID. That's where we're going to paste that ID that we copied from that previous site. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set up Kathy here. And just for continuity's sake, we'll keep the username the same. Okay. And then I am going to go to that document here. Take a copy of that ID, paste it into the account. Okay, there we go. And then right here is when we get into the actual credentials. So what the actual access. So for Kathy here, we want to identify what community she's going to be working in. So if she goes into Care Assist, what site, what senior living sites should she be able to see? So under primary community, I'm going to use the drop down here. Now I am a super user, so I see all of BHS's senior living communities. So from this list, I'm going to go down and I'm going to look for the Villa of St. Benedict. And there it is. Okay. And then within that community, what is your primary position?
What's it, hang on.
Where is anybody I could talk to about it?
Director of nursing.
Okay.
We're on a call and Jen's in with the Dumpy family.
Okay. So then for the AL Director of Nursing, you'll see that there are user-specific security tokens. So this is what access is Kathy going to have in the Villa of St. Benedict as an AL Director of Nursing. Okay. These are user-specific, so these tokens are not tied to that position. This position is more of an identifier just to indicate that Kathy has that title. Okay. The user-specific tokens, within the checklist that Linda provided, there is an outline of what tokens to assign per position type, okay? But for you all who are on the call, who will be accessing and doing all of these various pieces, the best way to move forward is we're gonna hit select all at the top. And there are a few specific tokens, areas that BHS is not using in Care Assist. So those are the tokens that we're gonna take off. Okay, so when we're looking at the token group here, you'll notice that there is one that says CA at the front. That's a global token to be able to see the dashboard within Care Assist. Okay, the other tokens are identified with a POC at the front, or if it's EMAR related, it will have EMAR at the front. Okay. So again, Care Assist is specifically used for just those documentation pieces for point of care and EMAR. In terms of what BHS is using and is not using, BHS is not using POC vital sign PTINR. Okay, so that is a vital sign that they are choosing to not track within point of care. So that is the only token under POC that would be taken off. As we move on down here, you'll notice that there are some additional pieces. So there's POC non-resident. That is a non-resident task. So you can actually have community-wide tasks. So for example, if you need someone to go and clean the front entry hallway, it's not tied to a resident, but something that as a community, someone needs to do. And so you can choose to have those kinds of tasks available and documented from within point of care. And those are visible under non-resident token groups. So each of these tokens is associated with that specific kind of community task. Okay. At this time, BHS is choosing to use all of those functions. And so all of those tokens stay selected. Okay.
But we have to physically go in and take that one out, is what you're saying?
I'm sorry, the first part of what you said kind of cut out there. Can you repeat?
So we have to physically go in and take that one out.
The PTINR, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then as we move on down here, we're going into the EMAR components now. Okay. And under the EMAR components, okay, there are a few different ones that are not relevant or are not being used. Okay. Approve orders and add and modify RX orders requiring approval. These two tokens are related to having a pharmacy integration, which is not something that BHS has at this time. Okay, and so these two tokens are not needed. It is not going to matter if you leave them selected or not selected, but just note that if you do happen to go to that page, it's just going to be blank. Okay, so you can choose to remove these for your own purposes, but just note that it's not going to harm anything if you do forget to not unselect them. Okay. And then the last few you want to take off is BHS is not using the narcotic tracking or the controlled substance tracking within the system at this time. And so we will want to take off the document inventory tracked meds, which is an EMAR token. And at the very end of the token list, these last 3 are all related to controlled substance reporting. And so these you would take off as well because they're connected to that controlled substance. Okay.
Why aren't we using those?
BHS has decided to not use them at this time. There are some pieces that they had wanted to see in development work before rolling that out.
So in essence, there should be 43 selected,
Yep.
and you have to do that each time?
Yes, for each user account.
And do we have this listed in the directions?
Yes, so Linda does have a list, an outline of what tokens to give to each kind of user. So it's an easy reference point.
Okay, perfect.
Now, this last piece here, the add additional community, because you are only working in one community, you don't need to worry about this. But if you did have additional communities, we would just add the additional community here. Okay. For our purposes, we are now finished with the Care Assist account. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay. And then keeping in mind that there were 2 accounts that we needed to adjust in here. We have finished the first, which is the Care Assist. And now we're going to go to the second, which is the Senior Living account. So I'm going back up to System Setup here. We just finished Care Assist User Management. Now we're going to usernames. Okay. And from here, I'm going to look for Kathy. Okay, there she is. So we have Kathy Benjamin here. And you'll notice that she already has an account in here. And that was created because I had saved and created her Care Assist account. Okay.
Why does it say BSTV?
Villa of St. Benedict. That is the community code for the Villa of St. Benedict.
Oh, wow. And it couldn't just, they all are that way?
Yes, from this page, it does show as an abbreviation. When we actually go in and look at your account, the full name is listed. So when you're actually creating the account, you can see what community you're assigning, but just for space saving, it's abbreviated as VSTB on the main page. Okay. Now, from the community drop-down list, because this is the only community that you have access to, this is the only community you will see in that drop-down list. Okay. Obviously, I have the full access, so I have all of the communities assigned to my user, which is why I have a much lengthier list. Okay. Your list will just have the one in it, though.
Okay, so when Kathy pulls that down, it would just have us.
Correct. Yep. And this usernames page would also just be limited to those users that are in the Villa of St. Benedict.
I just think that our users are not going to recognize that VSTB. They're going to, you know, but it says it along with it.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. Now, it did create this account for me because I did create that Care Assist account first. And you'll notice that on the right-hand side, under primary role, it just says default Care Assist role. Now, what that role does actually gives you no access to do anything within senior living, okay? And it does that because then if you are creating a, say, a CNA, and that CNA isn't going to do anything within senior living, meaning that person doesn't need to do anything with evals, service plans, or clinical notes, then you don't even need to come to this page for that person. You are done after you create the Care Assist account. Okay. So the only time you come to the usernames is if you are working on, say, a nurse or another admin type user. Okay. Because those individuals will be doing evaluations and service plans and notes. Okay. So for Kathy here, you are an admin user. And so under that primary role, Linda has built it where the AL DON role, it's the very last one, assisted living DON, that role is also has the user management access that's needed to be able to create and adjust users. Okay, so that's the role that she has set up for admin type users that do need to do that user creation piece. Okay, so for you, that is the role that you will assign to other admin users like yourself. If you are working with just a standard nurse, the role that you would want to assign is clinical, and that's right here. Okay. So for Kathy here,
Can people be assigned to more than one primary role, or is there just one primary role?
one primary role, but you can assign multiple roles. So for the primary role, ADON, and then you have other roles. So if you have someone who has multiple functions, you can assign multiple roles. The primary role is specifically tied to things like emails and approvals. So for example, in the evaluation, you can have evaluation templates that prompt additional approvals. So if, for example, someone has responded to a question around behaviors, and that question requires an approval from either the WD, which is what you see in parentheses here, or the EW, or the ED, which is the executive director, any user that has that listed as their primary role on their account receives an email notification indicating that they need to come in and approve something. Now, my understanding is that the evaluation templates that Linda has built have removed those approval pieces, so this is less tied to that now. But the primary role is typically for that function where you have that additional kind of email notification and approval piece tied to it.
I see that the email address right now is tied to Kathy's Matrix Care and not her Villa St. Benedict email.
Yes, because the approvals are not turned on in the eval template. There is nothing that's going to be prompted via email from the system. And so because of that, we did not place a valid email in here. So what it does is it just auto creates one. It's a fake email. It's just simply had taken the username and added @MatrixCare.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on this page, the only thing you need to adjust is just that primary role. That's it. Okay, the primary community will carry forward, and that's the Villa of St. Benedict, and that's the one that y'all are working in, so that's the one you'll see. So it's just this primary role that you'll adjust based upon what kind of a user you're working on, okay?
What does the enable tells at the bottom?
This is something that's for a different feature. We used to have a human resource module that was part of the system. So this was a, tells was a time tracker.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and save that change here.
Which will be confusing because isn't that our new work order system? Tells.
go ahead and clear my search out there. So what I'd like to do from here then is I'm going to go ahead and stop my share, and then Kathy will do what we did before, and I'll have you share your screen. If I can stop my share there. And I did put the URL in the Zoom chat, just if it's easier to reference from there.
Did we lose everyone?
I'm not sure.
What am I trying to do now?
If you, what I'm going to have you do is if you could share your screen again, and this time, just like we did before, share your Google Chrome, and we'll have you go to senior living now. Okay.
Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. That it? No. Why am I having such a hard time finding that email?
It's in the chat sheet. She has it. Where you see where it says 2 chats. Oh, there you got it.
I got it.
Oh, that's the larger one. If you go back to that
Oh,
that email again. So it's the one that's got the first URL, the BHS-SL. Perfect. Okay. And from this page here, you want to hit that sign in with Matrix Care SSO first. Awesome. Okay. And you'll notice it actually logged you in right away. And that's because when you had logged into the admin console, that opened a new session, which allows you to navigate around the different sites without having to relog in. So that is one of the benefits of the SSO. Okay.
nice.
What's the PDF indicator on the one side?
So the waffle icon on the left, to the left of the Matrix Care, is that what you're asking?
No, a PDF on the right side.
Oh, okay. So the release notes, if you wanted to print the release notes, you could do that from that PDF icon.
We don't have any records in there to pull, so.
Right, yeah.
Okay, like when the state comes in and they want, oh, yeah, some resident notes, you could just pull it from that.
No, so this is release notes. So whenever we have an upgrade to the system,
Oh.
and we outline what's coming, that's what that reference is.
Totally different.
Yeah. So so let's see here, Kathy. So what we want to do is let's have you go to the setup menu, and we'll go to Care Assist User Management. Okay. And I believe you had started with Karen first, so let's go ahead and search for Karen.
Oh, I should put her last name right.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of Karens.
I'll be here a long time.
Time.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Okay, so I'm not seeing her, so that's good. That's what we would expect. So we want to go ahead and create her. On the left-hand side there. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we want to go ahead and put in her first and last name.
I'll just share that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And then for the username, it was KS Sherman. Okay. And then from the SSO, you'd pasted that ID on that Word doc. So it should be that very first ID that you took. Okay.
And then you can go just hover back over there. There you go. And then just Control V. There you go.
Okay. Awesome. And then you and your list, so perfect. So you just see the one. Okay. And then what's Karen's main type of position?
Finance director.
Yeah, I think the closest you're gonna get is office manager. Is my
Yeah.
guess.
Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. And then she's going to get the same tokens that you did in terms of being able to do anything. So would you ever document point of care or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Bowel and bladder, you don't want in on this?
So it might be good then the only token to give her would be that dashboard,
Yeah. Which one? Oh, yeah, right.
the very first one.
Okay.
Okay. And then that would be the only one she would need. If she's not doing any documentation for point of care or EMR.
No.
So we'll go ahead and click off of that and save. Awesome. Okay. And so we've created the Care Assist account. And do you know trying to remember the next step there? Looked like you were about to go there, so I was gonna. So system setup.
User, right?
Yeah, usernames, perfect. And there you go. And you'll notice that your page is much more slimmed down than mine was. So it really helps you to kind of focus. So for Karen there, you want to go ahead and edit hers. And then the only thing you need to do is change that primary role. Okay, and since she does need to create other accounts, you want to give her the same role you had, which is the very, very last one on the list. And that one right there. The AL. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's the one that Linda has set up for that particular function.
And what is that function for again?
It's for being able to create and manage user accounts, but then also being able to see what's going on in the system.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we have your accounts been updated in here. So then what we want to do then is Karen. So Kathy, if you want to go ahead and can stop your screen share and then now Karen will have you do your screen share. Awesome. Okay. It looks like maybe you have it open, that login. Oh, perfect. That very first one there. Awesome.
This one here? No.
Oh, in your email, you're about to click
Oh,
on
my
it.
email. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And you'll notice it just logged you in right away too, because you had an open session already. So, yep, perfect. Awesome. Okay. You're just flying right through this. Look at you go.
Good teacher.
Perfect. Okay. And now she should, as the executive director, is she going to be doing anything with documentation, you think?
I hope not.
You hope not. Would you ever be a backup?
Yeah, well, I do have my RN.
I would give her full access.
I have touch base
Yeah,
on.
I think you need full access, Kathy.
Well, now remember, it's only 43 of the 50 things marked here.
Right.
Look at you go. You're even going through and removing them. Nice.
We'll see how good a notes I took.
I know the last 3 on the list.
Yay. There's one more.
Oh,
There you
Got
go.
'em?
Yep,
All right.
got them. That's it. So then just
And
save that.
save it.
Uh-huh.
oh, now Kathy's going to call me in on the weekend.
You got that right, and on a night shift.
Third shift.
You just breezed right through that. That was amazing.
All right. Good. Kathy, ready to take over?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Who am I doing?
Kelsey, I think.
Kelsey.
Okay, I thought you put that in the chats. Am I going on Karen's now?
So I think we've got both Kathy's and Karen set up, and then Kelsey was the last one.
All right, I do not think that I have this shared correctly because it's working from this end. Oh, I just lost you all.
Oh, no, we see you.
Oh.
We're good.
All right.
You're good. We see you.
Okay, so
So you are in a different URL. So it looks like you've got your email open. Go ahead and open that email.
right now I have too many.
I think you had it open on your tab already.
You had it. Linda was just there. You just
Oh,
had
there
it.
it is. 1:04 p.m. right there.
Okay, guys, I'm lost because I turned off where I was on my
The 5th email down here is Linda Johnson, if you open it.
yeah.
Here. Open that.
It was
All
this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
got
I
it.
got to that. Sign in on this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you just hadn't entered it yet. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so it's K.A. de Christina.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
You know, they probably are gonna have a voodoo doll of me somewhere at VSB.
Oh, I have a damn it doll. It's good, Linda.
That Linda
And I got-
Johnson, come on.
I stepped out before with that family member. So am I going back because I didn't do a password? Am I
Yeah.
going back to the password?
Yeah, so then you'll do that generic
Password,
and
it was 1.
password
exclamation.
1 exclamation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you should be asked to change your password. Perfect.
Right now.
Yep. So it's 8 characters, 1 cap, 1 number, and 1 special character.
How many? Oh, let me do that over again. I don't think I had enough.
Oh. My husband has cystic fibrosis, and he is sending me some fancy nebulizer systems. It is crazy.
Okay, let's see if I created that okay.
Perfect. Nice. Okay, so we're going to work on Kelsey here. So, yep, perfect.
All right. I'm sure she's not in there, so I'm just adding her.
Okay.
Kelsey, how do you spell your name? K-E-L-S-E-Y? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. M-U-R-R-A-Y.
M-U-R-R-A-Y?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, I didn't do her before, so I didn't save that.
Maybe I can share my screen real quick and I can copy it in there.
You could probably put it in the chat box too. She could copy it from there.
Oh, let me do that. Let me see. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, but I'm just working off this. I totally lost my, here, let me get my chat box back up. Kelsey, are you putting that in? Because I don't have a,
Oh,
I
there it
just got
is.
the
Just
chat
popped
box.
up.
Are you able to see that, Kath?
I am not.
So from your screen share at the top, do you have your viewing,
No, yeah, but
and then there should be a view options?
so that's weird because I'm sharing pause share. Okay.
What's Kelsey's last name?
Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y.
I can just email it to you, Kathy. I got it right here.
Okay. I want to get this back on this page so I can see my emails. Oh, this is helpful. I got it back where I wanted it.
Yeah, I just put the link over to you, Kathy, on your email. You can copy it there.
Okay. All right. What's the trick here?
I think if you go ahead and click on the Google Chrome browser icon on the bottom.
Am I not?
I don't know.
I'm still seeing your Edge screen.
Yeah, I have the Google Chrome. No.
Micromanage it for a while. Hold on.
I wonder if I can take over the screen share and I can enter it in there maybe.
I think I don't know. Can you anybody help me with this one? I'm not sure why. It looks like I'm on my Google Chrome. What's
So I just stopped the share to prompt you to be able to pick a different. Sometimes things get hidden behind.
all right? I lost everything and everybody now.
So I did stop the screen share because I think it was getting, things were stuck behind other pages, so you weren't able to get back to where you needed to be.
Okay.
So now when you hit share screen, you should now be able to select what you actually wanted to share.
All right. So I'm back. Can you see this? Am I back into where you can see this or no?
Right now, I am not seeing anything on your screen.
It says Karis' user, and that's what I've got in front of me.
And then, did you, so in the Zoom meeting, did you click the share screen again?
It looks like I lost that completely. Yet here we are. Let me see. Oh, guys, I'm holding you up. I'm sorry. No, I don't even see that now.
No worries.
It's
It's like,
okay.
hang on. One more thing here. No, it's wanting me to completely log back in the meeting, but that couldn't be right.
Interesting.
Mm.
Okay.
There we go. Let me see if I can do this again. Share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, it's coming.
now can you see it?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't help me that I didn't have her. I don't think that, as you mentioned something about being on, let me see if I can do this now this way.
Yes, I think you have your Google Chrome.
So show me where, I mean, I'm,
So at the very bottom of your bar there, you have there's like a giant E, then the folder, and then,
I'm open in Chrome.
okay. I wonder if you picked the other page.
Oh, I might have when I first got into this. Yeah. Is that going to make a difference?
Yeah, so I think maybe you had picked to share just Edge
Yeah.
rather than the whole screen.
Well, is there a way that I can get us back? Yeah, because that's how I got onto Zoom. I didn't get on through Chrome.
Okay. So you
Mhm.
should be able to, oh yeah, so pick where it says Mail Kathy with the Google Chrome icon. Go ahead and click on that.
Down here?
Yep. Oh, did you click on it?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Oh, that's odd. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get on originally on Chrome. So I think when I was trying to, for me to share, I should have been on that.
Okay. Who was the person that had set up Kelsey initially?
I think Kelsey set up herself because I had to step away with a family member.
Oh,
Or Kathy, you might have, I don't know. I had to
I
help.
did.
Kathy
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Kathy, do you mind, since we're having some struggles trying to get Zoom to work, would you mind going ahead and setting Kelsey up too?
No, not at all. System setup. Okay, and then you first want to go to Care Assist Manager for me because I haven't been in there yet. So go back to System Setup.
Oh, I thought you were in
Care
there already.
Assist User Management. And then you're going to add user. You're going to put in my information. There.
Karen Sherman, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I had to step out with the Dundee family, so I wanted to tell you what that was about after this call, okay?
Okay.
And then you're going to just go over to my SSO
Mhm.
user, and then it's not going to be that one. That's going to be Karen Sherman's. So mine is that. There you go.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, primary community is us. Main
Can
position.
you all see what they're doing? Because I can't right now, so I'm wondering if
No, I think they're not sharing right now. They're just getting it set up.
I guess I would put you under,
You want to do Zoom, share screen so they can see what we're working on here?
yeah, I'm just looking at, what's hard is these positions, you know, you don't have anything that says like a scheduler.
Those are the positions that you sent me. And so I would just use anything management related. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you an office manager position. All right, now where do I
Security
set it?
tokens,
Wait a
user
minute,
specific
user.
security tokens.
You just need,
CA dashboard.
wait a minute. All those 43 now.
So you're going to put select all right there. At the very top of the screen, select
Yeah,
all.
I'm going to it. I'm just trying to find it. And then I got to get out PTINR. I can find it. We're getting there, guys. I'm just trying to find the ones to get rid of.
Oh no, you're good.
All right.
what happens if you forget your password? Because now I think we're all on password overload.
EMAR,
Does that lock you out then, or?
modify. I think this one I
I
get
don't think
rid of.
anybody's locked themselves out.
The last four.
Oh, no.
There
You
go.
can always just use forgot password if you did lock yourself though on the main
Do
page
that,
on your
right?
login.
Okay.
Now what?
And then we're going to go to system setup
User.
and then usernames.
Usernames.
I believe they were from Walmart.
It's Kelsey down there. You got it. The only thing you're changing in this screen is my primary role.
Roll.
And I'm jumping on.
And I gotta go all the way down.
There you
Assisted
go.
living, DON.
And that's it.
All right, it
And then
should be
almost set.
done,
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
hopefully.
Kelsey, do you wanna log in yourself and just verify you're able to access it?
And so I'll just start
Mhm.
where you are here. Go back to matrix screen. It's just password exclamation or password 1.
I think you had changed your password, Kelsey, hadn't you?
Didn't you change it already? No.
No, I haven't changed mine yet.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, it is just password 1 exclamation.
Oh, that's not working for you. Here, let me see if I can help you.
Am I to be logging into Matrix Care SSO?
Yes, you want to select that button first and then enter your credentials.
Okay, that's probably why it is. And I think she said something before, that since I've already tried this,
Let me see. Let me pull you out.
and then do. There we go.
There.
All right.
You want
Shortcut Murray.
password? There you go.
Change your password. Okay,
Go,
thank
girl.
you.
Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Not a problem. Were you able to get in? Is everyone in?
And
She is.
all set.
Perfect.
You can hear.
Yay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay then. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again here. Okay. And so what we just finished was the Care Assist user management and the SL user management. Okay. The last piece here is that elite site, okay, which is this one here. Okay, this is just a generic one, but I just wanted to point out we're now on the last step here, which is the elite site. Okay. And now this is here. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that agenda. Got to go back in here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and log in. For you all, again, just hit that button first. I don't have that set up for mine, so I'm just going to log in straight away. Okay. And now within this particular site here, you are going to be set where you have a facility. When you first log in, you'll be directed to either search the facility or search a resident. Where you're navigated to is going to be based upon the level of the security user you have. So within this particular site, there are 3 different levels of users. There's the super user account, which has access to everything. The corporate user account, which has access to multiple facilities. So that could be, you have access to a skilled nursing, an assisted living, an independent living. And then you also have a facility level account, which is someone who accesses just one facility. And that might just be an assisted living or a skilled nursing or an independent living, okay? Now, Linda, did you set Kathy up at a corporate or facility? Do you remember?
Villa St. Benedict is just one building, so they'll
just
only need facility, yeah.
Okay. So for you all, when you are going to create new users, you'll want to go and you'll be directed, you'll need to go to the facility menu and you want to do a search user on the right-hand side. Okay. And I had Linda create Kathy for you, or Kathy Benjamin, because I, as a Matrix Care user, cannot create any user accounts in this particular site. It's just a lockdown piece that we have for security reasons. So I am not able to do anything in this site in terms of user security. However, I can do a search here. So I'm going to go ahead and do Kathy Benjamin. Go ahead and do that search. Not seeing that. Oh, I'm in the wrong facility. That's why. You won't have to do that piece. Okay, so now I'm going to look for Kathy here. Benjamin. Okay, so there she is.
Yeah.
So we can see here, Kathy has been set up. She has the particular security template, and she is assigned to the Villa of St. Benedict facility. When I go and I select her username, I am going to see some additional information on her profile. Okay. When you have a user who has already been set up, for Kathy here, I'm just going to select Update. And at the very bottom of her account is where I'm going to place that ID that I had copied. Okay.
Oh, so you're walking somebody in, when we're putting somebody in, it's in these 3 spaces.
Right. Yep. So if I can go ahead and find my.
None of it auto-populates once you put them in a particular area.
Correct. It does not. The only part that kind of auto-populates is that Care Assist account to Senior Living.
Yeah.
So here I'm going to paste in that ID. Oops. And my mouse just kind of froze on me, so I'm just going to make sure I pick the right one here. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and save. And that is what's going to tie Kathy's 3 accounts that we visited together. So now when Kathy logs in, she's going to use that same username and password to get into everywhere. Okay. Now, again, I don't have access to create other users, and so I can't go and add someone. But what I wanted to show here is when I hit update, this is the site, what you're going to get to when you add a user. The big thing you want to do is select a security template. These security templates are what defines that user's access here in Elite. Okay, so I'm looking at Kathy. She has the AL Director of Nursing template assigned to her. Okay, that is the same template that will be assigned to those of you who are not billing, right? So you've got, is it Karen that's the billing function too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will fall under me, yeah.
Okay, so Karen, you won't have just the Director of Nursing. What you'll need to have is, let's see here. And Linda, you'll have to help me out here. Which one of these particular templates has both clinical and billing?
I got to get you bigger. She's going to actually go down to the BHS, and it should be a billing something 1915 read or something.
Billing, there's billing manager, clinical read. This one?
Are there numbers after it? It's too little for me.
Yeah,
It's 0315.
With clinical read. Yes, I believe that's the one we want.
I'm looking here. So it's, yeah, so it's billing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
a 0315. Yes, that's
yes.
it.
Okay, so then that's the one you want to give to Karen then.
Karen needs that one.
Got it. Okay.
Everyone else will use an AL one, but Karen.
Okay. I'll go ahead and hit save there. I don't want to adjust anything for Kathy because she does need that particular template. Okay. So here, Kathy, I'm always picking on you to go first here. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize. I'm going to stop my screen share so you can do yours. Okay. So Kathy, if you want to go ahead and, oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay. And what you can do there is in your little waffle icon. Ooh, that works too. Not sure. Go up to the URL where it says BHS-SL. And then just go ahead and remove everything after .com. Okay. And then look in here to see if you had it happen to have it open already. Nope. Okay. So .com, and then remove the -SL piece of it. So where it says BHS-SL in your URL, go ahead and just take out -SL. So it should just be bhs.matrixcare.com. And then hit login. Okay. Okay. And now hit your SSO login button. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now go ahead and enter your credentials. Awesome. Okay. And so from here, you'll notice in the top right-hand side, you see how it says Facility Villa St. Benedict. It's under that black banner bar. Perfect. Okay. So what we want you to do is we need you to create, Kathy? No, Karen went first. Okay. We'll have you create Karen. So the first step is you want to go to your facility menu and you want to do a user search. So there's a search user menu. Perfect. Go ahead and look for Kathy.
Karen.
Karen, sorry, Sherman. There's 3 Ks.
Mhm.
Okay, and you don't have anyone, but you'll notice right below your search, you have a little hyperlink, add new user. Okay, and now Karen needs to have that billing office one. So under the template, we'll go to BHS Billing Manager with Clinical Read. There we go. And then for her user information, go ahead and fill in her first and last name. Okay. And then her username. And then you can just use that same default password 1. She won't ever use this, but it's just required for the screen. Okay.
So when we're doing this, setting new users up, you're always going to use their middle initial.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting to remember that.
We'll just do an all staff one. There isn't another one for that. Okay, and then at the very bottom there, so it did take out that password, so you'll have to re-enter it. Okay, and then take that ID. I think she's that first one.
What I said.
Well, that's interesting.
We did put her in the first time in a different category without the clinical read. It was just, I'm just wondering if that changed it.
Oh, so she already has a user in here?
No, but when we were entering it, we put her as billing manager, but it didn't have with the clinical read until the
Yeah,
second.
that's not gonna matter. Just put a 1 behind her name and put a password in. She might already have one that they did when they started setting Matrix up for the billing people.
Okay.
So I wonder if Patty or someone didn't make her one.
Okay. Okay.
We probably should have searched maybe. We could probably still search, couldn't
We
we?
did search and she didn't come up, which was why it was weird.
Wonder if they made her corporate.
Very possible. Okay. So she now has a user account in here. And so now if we have Karen login, so she should have the exact same options here. But Kathy, I know that we had you do Kelsey before, so let's have you go ahead and set up Kelsey while you're in here still.
There's no other Karen Sherman in BHS.
That is weird.
That is weird. But it does do that to me once in a while, so I learned to put 1s in.
Well, is that how hers will be from now on then?
So her username that lists there isn't the one she would use to log in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the username will display with a 1 at the end of it from within this page. So for Kelsey, you would want to give her, that should be the same, one of the AL security templates up at the top there. Housing certified in the disciplinary team. So she does all of her own user creation, right? So Kelsey will need to do user creation.
I believe so.
Okay, so Linda, does that interdisciplinary team one have that ability, or does she need to have a different template?
I would give her the, I think there's a, Ruby, I think there's an office one. Can you click that down again so I can see my choices?
The security template drop down?
Yeah. Do the billing office manager for her.
Okay.
Yep.
It's the very top one.
The AL billing office, I believe.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I believe she has a template then. I'll go in and look at that one.
And we can always edit these.
Yeah. And then it's just a fake password. And paste in her ID.
What the heck happened there?
Oh.
Oh.
Why isn't that working for me?
Always do.
It's not cooperating for me.
Maybe just do the Control V.
Yeah, that's my little trick. And then just Control V. And then
Oh, and you didn't put the first and last name in there. So you want to go ahead and put that in there.
it's also going to prompt you to ask for my password.
There we go.
Put down password.
There we go. Okay.
Lovely.
So now we have Kathy, Karen, and Kelsey all created. So then we have one last Kathy, right?
Yes.
Kathy Erlin. Okay.
Yeah,
No, not
Kathy
Erlin.
did.
D. Christina.
Day Christina. Okay, so then, was it Karen that had done Kathy before? Okay, so let's have Karen. We'll have you log in and create Kathy. I keep mixing up Kathy's. Go ahead and, so Kathy there, if you want to go ahead and log off. We'll hit the stop screen share here. And then Karen, you should be able to share your screen now. Okay. And then from Linda's email, if you've got it, you want to pick the one that says Elite. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, yep.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, you don't have the add option.
right up in there. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
What?
So
She
the
doesn't
billing,
have the ad?
no, the AL billing office manager doesn't have the add function.
Okay, hang on. I'll get you. Give me 2 seconds and I'll add it.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda.
And who is that on again?
Karen Sherman.
Karen Sherman. Okay, let's see. So just so you know, some of the templates don't have everything, and then we just customize them to the people.
Okay.
So we will give her that. We will give her that. Okay, she can go ahead and refresh and it should come up.
Just refresh.
Mm-hmm.
And what should I put Kathy as?
So she'll be an AL Director of Nursing. Okay. And you will need to select a primary discipline for her. It should be just nursing, I think, right? Okay. And done.
Right.
Okay. So I think we've got everybody on the call has been set up and should be able to access everything now. So, well, let's see here. Would you want to walk through another example of a user from the start to finish?
When are we actually going to be putting people in the system? I mean, it's great. I think we all kind of got it today, but ask
Okay.
me, you know, a week from now, if I haven't done it in a week from now, that could be a different story. So when can we start putting people in?
Today, actually.
Okay.
Yep. So you can start as soon as you would like to. And I did record this session, so this will be coming out. So if you need to reference back to it, so you'll be able to reference back to it to be able to see kind of the different steps, and you can fast forward and everything back to where you need to be, so you can kind of cut through it all, any of my yammering.
Well, that's great.
I'll send you a little cheat sheet too with pictures.
Oh, yeah. The nice thing is I doubt anybody's going to get at it today because we've been locked up for a while and the world is on fire outside of my door.
Yes.
But that said, it was great training. First of all, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm glad.
You're great at what you do. And I do think that the sooner we use it, it is always, but we could just go in now, log in now under SSO and kind of see some things and toy around, right?
Yep, absolutely. You definitely can do that.
And that is something that,
Okay. Well, I mean, and then obviously if you're not going to do anything today, but maybe it's a couple days from now and you kind of get stuck, you forget something, you can always reach out to Linda and I, and we're more than willing to hop on and help you out.
that's perfect. And then Kathy, question, will you be training your nurses at some point? I know they're probably a little overwhelmed now, but are you training your nurses to add people in, or is that going to stay with you and Kelsey?
I'm probably going to train at least one nurse also.
Okay.
And we will very soon start adding all our people. I intend to add them, and also I'll give, a handful to Kelsey to add.
Yeah, because actually you have a very big department when you come down to it. Adding all of those.
I don't know about all those other staff, who need to be in here. I think that's what I'm confused on, but you probably all have a good handle on that.
Like the CNA, for example, and correct us if we're wrong, they just have to be loaded into that one area, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So if they're only doing things in Care Assist, that's the only place you need to set them up.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna make all the aides though SSO users, because they will need the elite. And I'll show you that down the road.
That was my question. So everybody gets an SSO. And then,
I mean, outside of clinical, Kathy, I think what you have to think about is who needs to be put in.
Right.
I mean, I can handle the clinical.
So your activity staff, they should be an SSO user. And then for supplemental people that just need the Matrix Elite for billing, more your office people, they'll just be set up only in the Matrix Elite. They won't need the SSO.
Okay. And then, I mean, we do have an opportunity to grow this where we could have housekeeping go in or culinary or.
Your housekeeping, we are going to set up an SSO, but just hold that thought because I am working with EVS and some other things, and we're kind of coming up with a new plan for housekeeping.
Okay. And what about culinary?
Culinary, at this time, they won't need to document any. I can't think of anything they would need to document at all to be in Matrix.
But life enrichment, which currently doesn't do any kind of documentation per se, there's person-centered care.
Yep, we are going to have them be an SSO.
Okay.
But like culinary, for example, they might need to contact a family member. So they need to get in and go to a resident's profile to find, a daughter's email address or contact information.
Is that the head of culinary, or anybody working in culinary would be calling a family?
It would be the managers, director, there's probably 5 of them.
And those people would just need the elite side. They would not need to be in the clinical at this.
Right.
But that could change. So
yeah. Okay. So
our main focus to start is just to get nursing and clinical and activities in, and then we'll fill in the rest. But
okay, very good.
Very helpful. Thank you very much, ladies. We will start putting clinical in, believe me, this week.
Okay, sounds good. And I know that the next time we get together, we'll be doing the clinical training, and that should be your nursing folk.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good rest of your Monday.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.